Hello everyone, my name is Urmi, and in this channel I talk about finance, career, public speaking, and ways to invest in yourself. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure to subscribe and make sure to hit that notification bell to make sure that you don't miss any new videos that I post. So today I'll be talking about the CFA programs and way to study for the CFA exams. And I got a lot of messages on my Instagram from different people asking me a lot of questions. So I thought about creating a video where I answer all those questions just to make it easier and to make sure that everyone gets all the answer that they need. So I'll start with the first one. And basically this one is from this person who doesn't have any finance background, and he comes from an engineering background, and he's giving his level 1 exam in next year. So he asked me, how can I prepare if I have an engineering background, what materials do I need, and how can I practice? So I always admire people that come from a different background, which is not finance, and they plan on getting into the CFA program, because I always feel like if you don't have the actual finance experience, it could be very challenging, especially because you'll be dealing with a lot of concepts that you haven't seen before. The good thing about the CFA program is that you don't need an actual background in finance, which means that anyone can actually pursue this designation. So for someone who doesn't have any finance background, just comes strictly from the engineering background, I do suggest probably to take some courses. I personally have not taken any courses when I took my level 1 exam, neither for my level 2, just because I didn't feel the need to spend more money on this designation, and I'm pretty self-disciplined, so I do work hard and I try to study as much as I can and learn as much as I can on my own. But I know that there are organizations that actually offer classes. I do suggest that you go and take those classes offered strictly for the CFA program. I don't remember now the name on top of my head, but you definitely need to take. I think taking classes will definitely help you, because especially if you're dealing with finance for the first time and there are topics that you haven't never dealt with, it will probably be very, very challenging. I do think though that if you come from an engineering background, the math part will help you a lot, because of course in the CFA program it's both quantitative and qualitative, so that in that sense it will help you. Then he's asking me which materials did you use to prepare. So I have used, for level 1 I have used the IFT, and I also used some of the material from Fintree, and also from Mark Meldrum. I use all of those combined, but I think my main source was actually IFT. I think I spoke about it in another video where I say that I think IFT is probably one of the best. They're all good, but I really liked IFT because I believe that the professor that actually explains the topics, he's very knowledgeable, and he actually simplifies all the difficult topics in a very easy and simplified manner, so it just makes it really easy to understand. So I watched all of his videos. I also used a little bit of Fintree, but not too much, and I also watched the videos from Mark Meldrum. I think for the level 1, all his videos are on YouTube, so they are free. You can actually watch them. You don't have to buy his stuff. But my main source was actually IFT. I just watched his videos and that's it. I did also do the problems from the CFA Institute. So there is like an ecosystem on the CFA Institute website where you have like a bunch of questions. I actually used that a lot. I did all of the problems offered by the CFA Institute, because I think those ones are very important to do, first of all, and it's also because they're offered by the CFA Institute. So like if you're practicing, I would always say that you want to start from whatever the CFA Institute gives you as a resource to practice, and then you would move on with the other stuff. So I used the CFA program, I used the stuff from IFT, And for the mocks, I have used the mock from offered by the CFA Institute. I also did some offered by from Schweizer, and I didn't read any of the books. So I didn't read the curriculum books. I didn't read the books from Schweizer or anything. I just strictly watched videos, and that's it. And I just practiced. And watch videos. That was all I was doing. And if I couldn't understand some topic, I would just Google it and try to find the answer myself. Then the same person is asking me, oh, how many hours do you consider taking? And I'm also an MBA student. So this is the second time that someone is asking me this question. Like there are people that are MBA student and also pursuing the CFA designation, and they're asking me if this is actually feasible in terms of time. So I cannot speak for that because I have not done an MBA program, and I don't know if this person is actually doing a full-time MBA program or if he's doing a part-time, and I don't know if he's working as well, and I also do not know if he has any other personal commitment. So in terms of that, I cannot say anything. I can tell you a little bit about myself, that I was working full-time when I was pursuing my level 1 exam. So I was working 40 hours per week, and sometimes I had to do overtime. In that sense, it's reasonable. Yes, it's feasible in terms of time. You just have to start as early as possible. Like, do not wait the last 3 months to study for your level 1 exam. I'm someone who likes to manage the time efficiently and be organized. So I actually had like 9 to 10 months of preparation for the level 1 exam, because I actually started studying for it in September and I gave my exam in June. So that gives you like a rough estimate of how much time I actually spent, given that I'm also working full time. Then another question that I have is from this other person who's taking his level 1 exam next year, and basically he's asking me like, can you read the curriculum or can you skip it? So I do not know how much the level 1 exam has changed from the time I took it, but as I mentioned before, I actually did not read the curriculum. I never opened the book for the level 1 exam. I just felt like it was way too much, and I just didn't want to. I took the risk of not reading the book, and I passed it perfectly. So I did not read the book, but it could be that this time you might need to. I do suggest that if you're not reading the book, at least try to do the problems at the end of the chapters, because I think those are very important, and do the problems offered by the CFA Institute in the ecosystem. I think those are very, very important. And also I suggest that you do watch like videos about the different topics that are in the curriculum if you don't have time to read it. I do think that if you do have time to read it, I mean, it doesn't hurt anyone to read something sometimes. So just read it if you do have time, but otherwise I would say that you can just focus on the problem that you have in the CFA Institute ecosystem and at the end of the chapter. Then this person is taking me, can you just self-study for the exam? I do think it's perfectly fine to just do self-study, because that's what I have been doing. I didn't take any courses from anyone. I was just strictly studying on my own. And I think it's also very important that you are very disciplined when it comes to self-studying, because it's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to say, okay, I don't need to, like today I took the day off, I'm not going to do anything. I do think that that's what makes the difference. If you do have some time off, just study. I think that what's most important is that you study every day a little bit, and you do have a plan. So let's say there are like 10 topics or 11 topics, I don't remember now, is that you plan this time, like this week I'm gonna do this other week I'm gonna do that. And I think you should just stick to it and just have a timeline. I think that's most important, and just stick to this timeline so that you can increase the chances of passing the exam. Yeah, this person is very much asking me like what are the ways to what is the best way to actually study the best notes. And as I said before, I think from the third party providers, I think IFT is pretty good, Schweitzer is very good. I mean, Schweitzer, it depends actually. Like, I used it a little bit for level 1, but I didn't use it completely. I really like Mark Meldrum, and I really liked IFT and Fintry. And the last question is, should I do any fundamental course before level 1? Again, I cannot speak about that because I don't know this person what educational background he has. I do think that you don't need to do an actual like fundamental course before the level 1 before you sign up for level 1. I think it's more important that once you sign up and you see like what are your strengths and weaknesses, then you can take some courses. And again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, there are some people, there are some organizations that actually provide courses for the specifically for level 1. And if you do have the necessary finances to actually pay for it, then I think there is nothing wrong with that and you should go for it. So I'll probably create another video because I do have a lot of questions that I haven't answered. But in the meantime, if you like my video, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.